everybody, and welcome to South Fayette High School. Tonight, it's the Highlands Golden Rams against the tough South Fayette Lions in Northwest State action. Along with the Dean, Mike Choma, John Danknich is outside. This is Mike Pavlik greeting you from our palatial digs here at South Fayette as the Rams about to take the field here at South Fayette against this 6-1 team, this South Fayette team that lost only by 1 point to Upper St. Clair in Week 1.
Well, Mike, it's going to be a tough task tonight, but again, we take a look at the playoff scenarios. We can't beat anybody but Ambridge below us, so we have to look at somebody above us. We did it once before this year against Beaver. Boy, this is a tough road test against the first-place South Fayette team. They dominate here, but you have some interesting statistics this year. There is some light at the beginning of the tunnel.
Right, in first quarters this year, very interesting. Last week's game at Knock and their big game a couple of weeks ago here against Blackhawk, they went scoreless in those first quarters, giving those teams a chance. And the Blackhawk game ended up with 17-0, a very tough game. Blackhawk's good. I mean, we saw that for ourselves. And Knock will play you tough as they did last week, but South Fayette was able to win that game out there 35-14. Battle of the quarterbacks, Dean. This is going to be really interesting. Seth Cohen getting his third shot against these guys, as he did play against them as a sophomore, but he doesn't have to look across at Drew Saxton anymore.
No, Mike, but they have another tough guy here in Jamie Devon. These two quarterbacks, Mike, combined for 10 touchdowns last week. Devon threw for 5. Cohen ran for 2, passed for 3. Here's the things they have in common. Both 6'2", both around 190, both seniors. They like to go deep. Divers completed 97 passes, averaging 17 yards a pass, while Cohen's completed 76 passes, averaging 20 yards per pass.
Well, these two teams also like to pretty much run the same offense, which is, the spread, which is everybody's running now. And Joe Rossi was kind of a forerunner of that when he was down at Riverview when he replaced Jay Kaplan.
Mike, the question is, is it these great quarterbacks or is it the system? I look at Joe Rossi, and I think it's the system, Mike. He's the first guy in WPL, one of the first to come out with that spread offense. They won titles in 10, 13, 14. PIA States in 13 and 14. So, again, you have to appreciate the fact that this guy knows what he's doing. He gets somebody to work into the system, and the system seems to be very successful for them. We got to try to change that here tonight.
All right, the captains are coming out for the toss. Chance to tell you that football season's in full swing, and you've probably been putting off that much-needed work around the house. Why not let the pros at Beanie Home Renovations install a new kitchen, bathroom, game room, or addition to make your home a winner? With over 100 years of combined experience, owner Brian E. and his team of pros at Beanie Home Renovations guarantee that your job will be completed on time, exactly the way you want it, and in plenty of time to have that championship celebration. Customer service is their top priority. Give Brian a call today at 724-351-3172 for a free estimate, or visit their Facebook page, Beanie Home Renovations, where the bee is always busy.
Captains on the field tonight, Mike. They did the coin toss already. Highlands are going to receive the ball to start. I think that's a good idea, Mike. Try to get it on that board first because, again, we know South Fayette can't put up the points. Although you mentioned Highlands averaging 31 points a game coming in tonight.
If somebody had told you, we started doing this 25 years ago. If somebody would have come to me 25 years ago and say, there's a team that averages 31 points a game and they're 2-5, I'd have looked at you like you were crazy. And seriously, it's unbelievable that and it's not that the defense has been that bad, because it has. It's been below par and below what we would have wanted, but not to the tune of 2-5 when you're scoring 31 points.
And Mike, I think it goes back to what we said earlier, the spread offense, the idea that, these teams, they light the scoreboard up, and you hope to have more than the other guys at the end. And, again, South Fayette's going to put their defense on the field first, and starting line is brought to you by Dan Timmons Painting. They run a 4-4-3 defense, Mike. Big number 68, Emon Horowitz. Sounds like he should be conducting an orchestra someplace. Starts the one defensive end. Ben Coyne's the other one. The defensive tackles are number 58, Tom Eli, and 52, Quentin Franklin. Their linebacking core outside linebackers, number 5, Peyton Kinney, number 11, Ray Quinn Glover, remember that name from last year, and the inside is 8, Zach Blank, and 22, Nolan Lutz.
Noah Gillette and Gabe Booker are back deep to receive. Maybe.
Yeah, they're kicker,
maybe.
Mike,
because
50, yes.
This is Ryan Coe, and perhaps you may watch the ball sail over the end line. Opening kickoff brought to you by Mason Elite Hoops at the Pittsburgh Mills Mall. Basketball training for third graders all the way up through varsity and beyond. You can email them at masonelitehoops@comcast.net.
Mike, he is going to Temple.
Well, after I saw video, I can see why. And this is a high one, and Booker's going to take it. Now he drops it and picks it up at the 1. Booker outside to the left to the 10, and he's brought down as he gets to the 13-yard line. Now South Fayette says they've taken the ball away, but the officials are going to rule him down, as down there for the Lions was Joseph Audia, the sophomore safety, who will be playing, one of the few underclassmen playing on that defense tonight.
Tough way to start, Mike. The ball could have went in the end zone if you let it hit. Now, if it had taken it and went into the end zone with
momentum, yeah, they would probably given him a touch back then. They just don't want any issues on those as far as safety goes. So it's first down Highlands on their 14. Remember last year, things got off to a terrible start here. And
picked off, got an easy touchdown to begin with. Seth Cohen, quarterback tonight. Running back is number 44, Cameron Taylor. And the fullback is number 33, Noah Gillette.
Now they're going 4 wides, and Gillette's the running back here. Oh, and they snap it over Cohen's head. Another disaster. He's going to run it out of the end zone, and it's 2-0 South Fayette. It couldn't have got off to any worse of a start, and the Lions lead it 2-0. It took 14 seconds.
Mike. And it's the same end zone this happened in last year. Just a disastrous start for the Golden Rams, Mike. And again, they were going to come out 4 wide and try to attack them deep. But step number 1, quarterback catch ball. Step number 2, quarterback throw ball. Yikes.
So it's 2-0 Lions, just like that.
And we never got to introduce the rest of the offense, Mike. Number 53, Darren Hildebrand is the center. And we know what happened there. Our third guards are 59, Max Weston. 50, Jeremiah Nelson. Right tackle, 52, Joaquin Roman. Left tackle, good to see Dan Timmons back in the lineup here. And Joaquin Roman, Mike. Both of our tackles were out last week. You know, we lost that game in Montour, and everybody said, well, it's one you should have won. But when your 2 starting tackles are not in the game, it's kind of tough.
Starting on is brought to you by Dan Timmons Painting for all your commercial and industrial painting needs. They got you covered since 1979. Call Dan Timmons Painting, Natrona Heights, 724-224-2851.
And Mike, looks like Johnny Christ's going to come in and punt it. You have your choice of kicking or punting. They're going to just choose to punt it.
Johnny averaging, as we dig through our paperwork here, Johnny averaging 31.3 yards per punt this year. And they have triple safeties back for the Lions off the free kick. And remember, it's just like a kickoff, so it needs to be recovered. They can't let it roll. And it comes down to the 38-yard line. And busting through the middle is Joseph Audia, the man that made the play on the opening kickoff. He takes it from his 38 and brings it all the way to the Highlands 38. That's a 24-yard return. And South Fayette will have great field position for senior transfer quarterback Jamie Dibben.
And it was Johnny Christ, the punter, who made the stop on the play, Mike. You mentioned Devin is the quarterback. The running back is number 24, Andrew Frenton. They go 4 wides also. Number 4, Mike Timber. 11, Raekwon Glover. 1 is Charlie Rossi, coach's kid. Number 5, Peyton Kinney.
First and 10 Lions on the Highlands. We'll say it's the 37-yard line. Rossi, the motion man. They go empty, and the lefty Divin fires, and it's caught by Rossi out of the backfield. Makes a man miss, gets inside to 30, and Gillette rolls him down to the turf at the Highlands 27-yard line, and that's close to a first down.
Their interior lineman for the offense for South Fayette, number 59, is left tackle Dom Thomas. Going quick, Mike.
They are.
That was lateral.
Flips it to the far side. That's Trimber. And Trimber's going to be brought down at the 25-yard line.
Rydell, and tonight we're starting Dave Booker, at one of the corners. And again, going quick again, Mike.
2nd and 7 from the 24. Looked like the Rams might have jumped, and that was Ethan Jones. Well, that'll give him a rest, if nothing else, but it also gives South Fayette a cheap 5 yards. Our referee tonight is Charlie Watts. The head linesman is Mick Jagger. The umpire is Keith. Actually, Charlie Watts is the referee. So
the rest of the Stones aren't with him.
No, he's alone.
But he's the referee, so he's the head guy tonight. 2nd
and 2, South Fayette at the Highlands 19. 2 right, or 3 left, 2 right. And Divin back there by himself. The first lefty we've seen in a while. He's back. He looks. Steps up.
All day.
Fires into the end zone for a South Fayette touchdown to Charlie Rossi, the sophomore.
Dad's happy with that one, Mike. Right down the middle. And again, last week, remember, Montour took advantage, was down the middle, and they are here too. And didn't get to even introduce the rest of their offensive line. Can do that while they're attempting the extra point. Tom Eli, left guard, gave him all day. 55, Ben Wright's the center. 57, Jaleel Hawker is the right guard. And 56, Ben Coyne is the right tackle. And Mr. Devon could have knitted a sweater back there, Mike.
Well, so much about them not scoring in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's off the board.
Chuck Noll always said a safety should be a 9-point play.
And right now it is.
Rossi puts it down. Coe boots it up.
Wow.
And he kicked that thing to McDonald. And it's good. And South Fayette leads it 9-0 at 10:42 first quarter.
Yeah, Mike, the system we talked about in the pregame was definitely put to work for precision that time. They didn't even bother putting a running back in there. He said, hey, we got 5 guys. And Lane Kiffin was talking about when you say you want...
you're about to quote Lane Kiffin. Go ahead.
But think about this. He says, if you think you are, if you're running the ball 50% of the time and passing 50% of the time, if you think that is even, you're 50% idiot. Because he says you got 5 receivers out there. If you give one running back the ball, you got 4 guys standing around.
Somebody said last year, and I'm not even sure who it was, balance is doing it the percentage you want to do it.
That's correct. Gives us a chance to talk about Joe Lucchino and his son Joseph. Proudly welcoming Lucchino Insurance Financial Services, serving the AK Valley for decades. Lucchinos are a broad-based financial advisory firm with a wide range of opportunities for both you and your business. So if you want something done in the healthcare industry, or right now, Mike, people with the stock market turn a little south, they're looking towards CDs, call Joe and Joe. They always know. They're located at 2318 Freeport Road, next to Donut Connection, or you can call them at 724-224-8908 or 724-905-7583. Why wait? Call the Lucchinos today. They'll put you on the road to financial stability today.
Coe kicks it. Looks like he wants to keep this one on the field. And the Rams are just going to, it didn't hit the...
Wow, is that amazing?
Right in front of the goal line. And Gillette picks it up, gets it out over the 10, the 15. And boy, South Fayette's won the battle of field position so far. Highlands starts at their own 16-yard line. How about that one?
You talk about accurate kicking, Mike. How did he kick it to the 1 yard line?
That was a 60-degree wedge. That thing came back.
And it was a fumble.
Yeah, that's a free ball, exactly.
Heads up by Noah to take that ball. Not like I said, it's down there as a fumble. And again... I was going to try to start with their 4 wide receivers set again, it looks like, Mike, and that's going to bring out DJ Loveland, Johnny Kreis, and Gabe Booker. Starting line is brought to you by Dan Timmons Painting. They got you covered.
I want to talk about playoffs. The Rams are not eliminated. The Rams would not be eliminated even if they lose tonight. So we'll be talking about that as time goes on. But let's put it this way. We'll be keeping an eye on that Newcastle game. We're going to Newcastle next week, and Knock is at Newcastle tonight. Cohen is back, and he's going to throw it deep, and it's unfortunately he threw it to Frank Girardi on the sidelines, I believe, is who caught that. Johnny Kreis was the intended receiver, but the pass just kind of died on Seth a little bit.
Mike, he had single coverage out there. Anytime Johnny gets single coverage, you have to take a look that way. Their defensive backfield, Mike, they have number 15, Joseph Adua, at one of the corners. The other corner is number 2, Ryan Kokoski, and the free safety is number 11, Raquel Glover.
4 wides again. The only setback is Gillette. You're going to run a read option. Cohen's going to take it, breaks the first tackle, and gets it up over the 20. And that's about where he's brought down in the waiting arms of senior safety Peyton Tinney, number 5. It'll bring up a 3rd down for Highlands. 3rd, we'll call it 5.
Mike, if you want to keep yourself in this game, you have to convert these 3rd downs since we're already down 9-0.
Highlands on the season, 3rd down wise, completing 44%. That's very good. That's a good number.
And they went to a nickel package. Mike brought one of their bigs off the field. That was number 52, Quentin Franklin.
3rd down, long 5. And Cohen's just going to run it right up the middle. Going to break a tackle and get the 1st down, I believe. He's very close, up at the 26-yard line.
Depends on
Tinney
where they mark it,
made the stop again. They may be marking him a little bit short. Let's see where they put it. You want to look at it? 1st down, Highlands.
1st down. Good job. And, Mike, that's the problem when you take out that big and bring the extra cornerback in. Seth saw that, took advantage. First down for the Golden Rams.
The thing about Seth, he's the Highlands' leading rusher now. He is at 14 yards. He's back to 4. and he's 519 yards on the year.
Again, tonight, Cameron Taylor's not in the lineup for offense as we're going 5 wide. This game we have 4 with Isaiah. So we know Gillette as the Gillette back.
Gets the call. Maybe gets a yard as he runs into the center of that South Fayette line. The thing about them that we noticed it last year and have been noticing it, tackle there was by 68 Eamon Horowitz, the senior defensive end. Their defense comes with not much ballyhoo, but they're very good.
Well, when you have a potent offense like them too, Mike, it's they don't have to be on the field very much.
No, they don't. And you figure the scores they have that they probably are on the field half the game. Both first units. That's why it's amazing their quarterbacks have been able to throw for the yards they have. Johnny Christ in motion to the near side of the field. And Cohen back on 2nd and 9. He's going to throw it. It's tipped and Christ caught it. First down 35 and up to the Rams 40-yard line. It was nearly a pick 6 by Raekwon Glover. Had 2 hands on it. Was looking at end zone, but Johnny got the deflection.
Talk about concentration. Great job by Johnny that time, Mike, to read that deflection, pick it up, and then had the ability to turn it upfield and turn it into a first down for the Golden Rams. Great job by Johnny Christ that time.
Johnny, of course, the Highlands leading receiver on the season. That's his 29th catch of the year. Seth Cohen's thrown for 1407, basically needing to average approximately 200 the last 3 games to get to 2,000 for the second straight year.
Well, again, Mike, Seth Cohen 8th in the WPL in passing, and Johnny Christ 8th in receiving.
First down, Rams on their 40, trailing at 9-0 early. Not even 4 minutes in here at South Fayette on senior night.
Jamie Devin, his counterpart, Mike, he's 3rd. So a lot of offense on the field to receive.
Play clock down to 5. Cohen's going to run the follow, gets behind Gillette, gets up in there, breaks the tackle. He is tough to bring down. Up over the 45 and up to the 47-yard line. You'll take that on first down every day.
Didn't bring him down first contact, that's for sure, Mike. It's definitely a tough customer. When he gets in the open field, he has that speed.
And he's back to plus yardage. He had to take a minus 14 on that safety.
Ouch.
2nd and 3 at the 47. Clock winds, less than 8 to go first quarter. Now they have it stopped to place it properly.
Yeah. Cam Taylor's
we have an injury.
We have a timeout.
See, Cohen's coming off. He's hurt.
Oh, my.
And that was the issue. And he's going over to the sideline to try to run it off. He doesn't want to talk to Mike Rizzo.
You know what that means, Mike?
That's an ankle.
Yep. Noah Gillette.
It's his leg.
Our quarterback.
Yep. And Cam Taylor comes in to play running back, and we saw Noah Gillette 2 weeks ago at Ambridge. It's a good thing he got some experience, huh? But that changes everything.
Yeah.
Because they can't pitch it around like they can with Seth in there.
And that's just a problem, Mike, of being such a tough kid.
Really looks like it's definitely a leg. Give it to Taylor. Tries to find some room, but nothing there as the Lions are waiting for him. And that was Ben Coyne, the senior defensive end. And one thing we noticed, they have tons of seniors all over their starting lineup.
Mike, they dress 75. That is scary.
3rd and 3. And that's the last thing the Rams needed.
Yep.
Seth's a tough kid. The Rams are going to call time. I think Seth's ready to come back in.
Exactly right.
Don Girardi's going to use his first time out, which is probably a good idea at 6:46 first quarter, and to see if they can get Seth back in there because it's only third down and 3.
I've got glass on Seth, Mike. He has bandages on his knees and his arm already, so he's banged up. But he's limping a little bit, but hopefully it's nothing serious. He's going back in, obviously.
Let's talk playoffs. Blackhawk has clinched. They are 5-1. They're in 2nd. The South Fayette's in 1st, but they played fewer games. They've only played 4. Blackhawks played 6. South Fayette's 4-0. South Fayette wins tonight. They'll clinch a playoff spot too. That leaves it down to Beaver is 3-2, Montour's 2-2, Highlands 2-3, Knock 2-4. Newcastle and Ambridge are kind of on the outside right now. Highlands here tonight. Knock is at Newcastle. That's a big game. Knock needs to win it. It's their last conference game. If they don't win, they're out and they'll be done. They need to win to stay alive. Ambridge at Montour, and we all see what Montour's been doing lately. They have an up arrow next to them as they beat Highlands last week. Again, Highlands still alive and would still be even with a loss tonight.
A lot of things have to happen over the next few weeks, though.
Cohen back in, 3rd and 3, looks, fires, far side, Christ, fingertip catch, has a first down at the South Fayette 47-yard line. 6-yard pickup in Highlands' third first down of the first quarter.
Quick out of timing pattern. Nice job by Johnny. And great to see Seth back on the field. Into South Fayette territory, Mike. Going to go quick again. Both teams would. They usually have about 120 plays a game. We're going to get near 150, I think.
9th play of the drive already. The drive started on the Highlands 16. They've been having trouble on the kickoffs. Blitz. Cohen finds it and fires, and it's incomplete. He tried to get it to Loveland, but they looked like they were on different pages together that time. I think he thought DJ was going to break it up.
Great job by Noah Gillette to pick up that blitz.
PA announcer here is radio personality Bubba the Bulldog.
And we had dinner at his restaurant.
We did. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good hamburger. Maybe not quite the Anchor Inn, but
nothing beats the Anchor Inn.
2nd down at 10, Highlands on the South Fayette 47. 9-0 Lions. Give it to Gillette. Tries to break a tackle. Does. Squares his shoulders. Gets upfield. Inside the 40 and rides down at the 38-yard line. I get a 9-yard pickup. Thrown down by Ben Coyne, but the Rams have it 3rd and 1.
Again, he's a tough customer, Mike. He hit right up in there. Nick of time. Makes it 3rd and 1. I think we're basically in.
Oh, not basically. unless there's a big sack here.
Courtney just texted me she wants to meet Bubba.
Line showing blitz. Cohen going to run it. They got him this time. They were waiting. Raekwyn Glover, the senior corner, came up, left his man, and stops Cohen for a loss. It's 4th down, and now we'll see if we were right about that 4-down territory.
Yeah, that one becomes a long 3, Mike. Courtney, our longtime bus driver, no longer driving, but she made the trip to South Fayette here tonight.
Rams are still going to go for it, though. 5:30 to go, first quarter.
I think you have to, Mike.
Oh, there's no doubt. They need to get it to the 37. They look over to the sideline. The play clock down to 10.
Deshaun Hawley split wide to the right. Booker in the slot.
And Cohen is back. Steps up. Gets away. Looking going to have to run it. He's going to get there. And he's knocked out of bounds. A little extra at the South Fayette 36. But it's 1st down Highlands. Their 4th of the drive.
We are high atop the stadium here, Mike. And we can see up here was wide open. And obviously Seth did too. What they did with drag routes, Mike, that clears out linebackers. And Seth took advantage of it that time. 1st down Golden Rams. Trips to the right this time, going quick again.
13th play of the drive. And they're only on the 36-yard line.
Yeah, that's the scary part. They jumped, but they didn't. Yeah, not a call.
Raekwyn Glover.
No, they didn't call it. Nope. They saw a flag.
Coming with Gillette as the sidecar. He's back. Going to throw it quickly out to the front. Oh, they're going to go hook and ladder. Here comes Gillette down the sideline. Touchdown, Highlands. How about that one?
Noah Gillette, Mike. And boy, did he show some speed, too. Great job by Johnny. Great hands. Now we got to talk about how we score this, Mike.
Right. It's one reception. They each get passing yards. We learned that last year. It's Cohen to Christ. Gillette finishes it off. Gillette gets the touchdown, and the Rams are on the board at 5:05 left first quarter. How about that?
Amazing. So we get to give the passing yardage to Gillette. That should be to Christ, right?
No, they all get passing yardage. Here's the snap. The ball is down. Bowser's kick is on its way, and it is good. And at 5:05 left, first quarter, your score, South Fayette 9 and Highlands 7.
If I remember, Gillette doesn't get a reception, though, right?
No, he just gets the passing yardage.
So
Cohen to Christ.
Cohen to Christ.
To Gillette. Okay, the line of scrimmage was the 36, and the pass covered, I would say, 6 yards to the 30, and then he took it the rest of the way in 30 yards.
So we're 36-2.
Mm-hmm.
So 33.
Well, the Rams have a penalty, and it's going to be a low block on Highlands is going to be put on the kickoff, which is going to stink because that's going to move it way back, and South Fayette's going to get great field position.
Okay, so 30 yards for Gillette with no reception. Gives Seth 49 for the day so far.
1955.
Up 25 and 30.
36 in 1955.
Yeah, 55.
That's right. So Christ gets 6 of those.
We did that last year, right? That's why all these questions came up.
Oh yeah, that happened in Mars, and we were trying to figure out Seth's passing yards because he was going for 2,000, and that's what happened.
Well, Mike, you look up at
that came out of nowhere,
right.
And the Rams have scored at 5:05 first quarter, and they trail at 9-7, only by the safety now on a 13-play, 84-yard drive that took 5 minutes and 31 seconds. What a tremendous drive for Highlands. But now the 15-yard penalty on the low block puts the ball back at the 25, and South Fayette's probably going to start in Highlands territory here, which has been a problem for the Rams. The field position has not been good on just giving it up at all. Last week's game against Montour was terrible. Bowser's kickoff is a good one. And down at the 30 is Adia across the 50, and Loveland brings him down at the Highlands 45.
Loveland and R.J. Jones, and boy, R.J. Jones, Mike, limping off with that darn shoulder again. He's had bad luck with that all year.
So it's first down lines on the Highlands 45-yard line. Again, the pass by Cohen completed to Christ, and then the lateral pitch to Gillette, and he took it the rest of the way on the hook and lateral for the Highlands touchdown. It worked last year when they did it too. I think Jet was the recipient of the end of it. I think Johnny might have caught the first part.
And Johnny has quick hands, Mike. You see that catch, and he hardly even had it. He's bouncing it out.
Trimber, the motion man. And they give us to Franklin. The Rams are waiting for it. Boy, he was juggling that ball too. And Ethan Jones got in, or Danny Timmons, got in there and upset the apple cart. It's a loss of 3 on the play.
All of a sudden, the Rams have a little jolt, Mike.
Andrew Franklin, who was trouble for Highlands a year ago.
Big plays bring them to life.
Trimber hurt us last year. Mike Trimber is senior now. We talked about all the seniors. They have 18 of them. We played a team last week that had 6, Montour. And they are coming.
Yep.
Divin is back all day, sprints, fires it, and incomplete. He tried to get it to Trimber, but Johnny Christ had the coverage. That'll be 3rd and long for the Lions.
Very interesting, Mike. As you said in the open, the first quarters have not been blowouts for South Fayette.
And really, Highlands handed them 9 points.
Yes, to get started, that's for sure. But they settled down nicely here, Mike.
Well, it was a great drive, a 13-play drive. So it's 3rd down, 13. South Fayette on the Highlands 48.
We know they're going to there. The question is where.
Divin back, and here comes the blitz. They pick it up, squares up, fires it deep down the middle. Trimber's wide open. 15, 10, 5, and Booker brings him down. The ball is loose. He was down, though. They call it a touchdown. That's a terrible call. He was down. The ball, the ground. The ground caused the fumble. And I think Glover came up with to finish it. It was originally caught by Trimber, who was wide open.
You just mentioned his name, Mike. Big catch, but again, Devin just stepped to the left of the pocket, and he had all day. He pump faked 3 times before he released. You got to put some pressure on him. Here's your buddy Coe.
So Coe is on for the extra point. And the kick is on its way, and it is
good. They got to lose some footballs, don't they?
So it's 16-7, South Fayette.
Well, Mike, we said they were close, and all of a sudden, boom, that's a quick strike offense they have. By the way, there's no better time than right now to stop into Highland Tire and Highland Integrity Alignment. See why they've been voted the best place to buy tires in the AK Valley for 26 consecutive years. Mike, tomorrow evening in Greensburg, guess what?
What's that?
Snow is going to fall.
How about that?
They've been family-owned and operated since 1961. Everybody's rushing to Highland Tire right now. They offer the largest and most complete inventory of tires in the Pittsburgh area. And if you don't see it there, ask, they'll get it. Visit HighlandTire.com or give them a call in Trenton at 724-224-9222 or in Toronto Heights at 724-224-7900 or High Integrity Alignment at 724-224-5900. Highland Tire Service, integrity, price, they deliver.
From Newcastle, Knock leads Newcastle 10-7 first quarter. Turned a Newcastle fumble 5 plays later into a touchdown. Highlands needs Newcastle to win that game. I'll explain more later. But if Knock wins, Highlands isn't out. But it'll just make things a little bit harder for them. And that's Knock's last game. We can't end up at a tie with them because they beat us. Here's the kickoff by Co. It'll be
going in the end.
It'll be a touchback. So if Knock wins, they go to 3-4, and you can see scenario where Highlands goes 1-1 the last 2 weeks. They're 3-4, and then we have to start adding up Gardner points if it's a 3-way tie. So we'll get into more of that later on. But suffice it to say, we could use Newcastle to give us a little help tonight.
Question is, how many lives does this cat have, Mike?
Seriously, we've left him for dead a few times, and believe me, they're still not dead. They are not.
As Tex Winter once said, when they thought he was eliminated in basketball, he sat up in a coffin on his show and said, "I'm not dead yet." This just in. Tex Winter passed away today.
Yes, 1st and 10. That was Abe Lemons that said that. Cohen throws it over the middle, and it's incomplete. He tried to get it to Loveland.
Why didn't you tell me that this morning when I told you that story? You wait till I get on the air.
I didn't talk to you this morning, did I?
Yes, you did. You told me about it. This goes to prove to you. Mike and I have been together so long.
We don't listen to each other.
We're like husband and wife. I talk, he doesn't listen, and then I mumble, and he thinks I'm listening. So, again, I told you a story. You told me about Tex Winter today with Tony.
Right, Tex Winter did pass away. He was 96, which really surprised me. Are they going to take a 5-yarder, or is it holding?
I think it's holding.
It is holding, so they're going to take it. Again, spot foul in high school. They've really gone big time on those. So that takes it back to the 18-yard line. Forget about that incompletion.
Now, where did Tex Winter coach?
As a head coach, not very many places. Kansas State, I know of. He didn't coach at Texas. That was Abe Lemons.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm thinking. I didn't know where he coached. I know he coached at college. He's more pro. He was assistant pro.
Right. And he lived in Manhattan, Kansas, because that's where I think he met his wife there.
He was with Phil Jackson
forever with that try. He was on the second row of coaches, as the give up the middle is to, when they unpile, it's Noah Gillette, and he gets a couple up to the 10-yard line. I've come to the conclusion in the NBA, the further away you are from the court, the more important of a coach you are. Because they have like 5 rows of coaches. Yes. I've never been able to figure it out,
Now the big question, we'll do some research at halftime, is Abe Lemons alive?
It's a great question. I don't think so. But
is Abe Vigoda alive?
Not anymore.
Quick pass out. Looks like
flip it out to the far side of the field, and Loveland takes it up over the 15-yard line. I'm sorry, that was Johnny. Up to the 15. The gain will be 5 to the 15. It's 3rd and 15 for Highlands. You don't want to be behind the chains.
In this case, they are 3rd and 15. Let's try the hook and lateral again. It'll work well.
Cohen 4 for 6. 50 yards. 60 yards, I'm sorry. 3rd down, 15. Rams trailing at 16-7, 3:15 left first quarter. Look Cohen back. Here they come. Fires it down the middle, and it's incomplete. Too far for DJ Loveland. Charlie Rossi had the coverage, and the Rams will have to punt.
Once again, Mike, he's finding the single coverage, but that single coverage has been pretty good so far.
Yeah, it has been. These guys, again, the only loss they lost the opener at Upper St. Clair 34-33. And they've only given up double figures in points twice since then. They gave up 28 to Greensburg-Salem, and they scored 51 that night. And they gave up 14 last week at Knock, where they scored 35. Glover and Rossi are the deep men to receive this Johnny Christ punt. He kicks a rocket. That's a dandy.
Wow.
Goodness, Rossi back to his 41 and steps out of bounds. All net at the 42-yard line. Quite a punt by Johnny Christ.
And remember, he came in for Cam Taylor in relief against Ambridge just to see what he can do, and he hasn't given up the job since.
43 yards all net.
He deserves it, that's for sure. Take a look at the Highland Golden Rams on defense. Left end is 59, Max Weston. Left tackle is 72, Ethan Jones. 50, the right tackle, Jeremiah Nelson. And 68, Nathan Rydell at the other tackle. Linebacker, 33, Gillette. 44, Taylor. 8, Fondrick. Cornerbacks, 28, Brandon Jocham. Number 4, Deshaun Hawley. Safety, Seth Cohen, 14, Gabe Booker, 9.
Trips right, 1 left. Divin, the quarterback. Franklin, the running back. And this is Glover in motion. And Divin is back. Time, steps up, fires it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, got a man wide open. It's Trimber. Trimber breaks a tackle. And breaks another one. He's going to go for a touchdown. The Rams.
3 Golden Rams are gone, Mike.
Conscientious objectors trying to make that stop, and that's a touchdown for South Fayette. 58 yards.
I think it's Jocham, Mike. Brandon Jocham.
So the last 2 touchdown passes, 48 and 58. I think there might be some pride hurt on that one.
Mike, guess what? It's not Jocham, it's Seth Cohen. He is limping badly.
Well, he's got obviously injured earlier trying to run the ball.
That is not good.
And they can strike quickly, and they do. Helena Van Bibber will be on to try the extra point. She's a senior, her last game here, so we saw her last year.
But honoring her senior night, eh? I don't think it'll quite go as far.
Rossi. Van Bibber kicks it. That's good.
It'll go straight through, though.
2:50 left first quarter.
Well, Mike, the birdie picked us to lose, and so far they're looking pretty good, 42-14. How bad is it locally, Mike? He only picked one local team to win this week against an out-of-town team. That's Valley, expected to beat Summit Academy tomorrow, 35-7. And by the way, the Golden Rams, next week we mentioned at Newcastle. That game's going to be important either way, correct?
Correct. I can't find a scenario where Highlands is eliminated this week. If they don't win this game, what they want to do is try to find a way to get into a 3-way tie with Newcastle and Beaver. And the only way that can happen is Beaver or Newcastle winning tonight against Knock, getting them out of any picture, and then Beaver's going to have to lose a couple coming down the stretch, which is conceivable because they're playing tough teams. Again, we'll talk about it more later, but there's a chance that could happen.
I'm going to let you handle kickoff, Mike. I got the glasses across the way on Seth Cohen. Yeah, he's down. He's sitting upright, but they got that leg out stretch. Mike Rossi's looking at it, working that knee.
Here's the kickoff. And this is Brock White. And here he comes, 25, 30, 35. And Brock White all the way to the 38-yard line. What a return for him. His first action since week 1 at Plum.
Yeah, Mike, you remember he hurt his knee on the first series. He had to have surgery, actually, and to see him out there tonight, that's great news.
A little arthroscopic action, huh?
Yep. Look at what an Oriole Seth Cohen's
out there. I'll tell you who else they had down over there working on him, and that was Gabe Booker.
Yeah, Mike Rizzo's earning his money tonight. So 2 starters.
First down, Highlands. Good field position this time at their 38. 2:41 left first quarter. South Fayette already put up 23 points, and now we have whistles and flags flying. Already 23 points here in the first quarter. We haven't even played 10 minutes.
That was going to be the Jet series, Mike, and that was going to be very effective. Unfortunately, not going to count.
So it'll be first and 15.
Nice senior night crowd here, Mike. We don't get to see the crowd because they're right in front of us.
And it's dark down below us because there are no lights shining on them.
Chilly out tonight.
It's beautiful.
I had to wear a tassel cap golfing today, and it affected my game.
It's a climate-controlled 70 in here. I looked at the thermostat on the wall. I had to take my hoodie off.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Give us to Taylor.
Same play.
With blockers in front. Gets to the 40-yard line. So he gets the penalty yardage back +2. It's a 7-yard pickup.
George Skirko beating him by 4 today, Mike, at Vandergrift Golf Course. The greens were in great shape, and Little nippy out there, but we got it in. We started at noon and it was still under 50 degrees.
It was chilly today. It's actually, I thought it was nicer this evening than it was earlier. But fall is here. We're going to lose. We may make it to 50 tomorrow. We may not. We're going to lose 40 degrees in high temperature since Monday.
Crazy. I closed the pool on Thursday. Smart me, huh? Got my 3 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday average.
Gillette and crabbing motion. Play fake, and the pass is batted down. Getting a piece of it was Ben Coyne, the senior defensive end, number 56.
All these seniors you're mentioning, Mike, I remember their names now from last year. They were pretty good last year.
And 2 years ago.
Right.
You know, these guys won the WPIAL in 10, 13, and 14. Now, the last 2 years, they've lost to teams from our conference.
Strange.
Which is really strange. Last year, they lost to Montour. 2 years ago, they lost to Newcastle. They beat those two teams in the regular season by 4 touchdowns average. They beat them by 52 total points, average of 26 points they won those games by. And then in last year's case against Montour, 2 weeks later they lost to them in the playoffs.
It's crazy.
Cohen fires far side, too tall for his intended receiver. DJ Loveland was out there, and it's 4th down.
So Seth has completed 4 passes of his 10. He doesn't get credit for that hook and lateral. It's 4 of 9.
4 of 9. That is correct. He does get credit for it.
Well, but I'm saying not the second part of it.
He gets all the yards.
He gets all the yards, not the completion to Gillette, though.
No, just 1 completion, correct. Yeah, we had to have that explained. Dom Girardi, thank God for him, and then George Guido helped us with it last year.
Look at that bullet.
Old Thunderfoot,
Right
Johnny Christ, kicks a liner down to the 18-yard line. And now, coming out of there with it is Glover. Look out, 40.
That's a cliff.
50. Highlands 40. And luckily, the punter's a good tackler. They're going to call Johnny for what? Bringing him down? Quite a return. That was Raekwon Glover all the way to the 40. And there's a flag down where he picked it up.
Should be DJ Loveland back to the 30-yard line. Mike got clipped in the back. The guy came right up his back while he's trying to make the tackle.
Let's listen. 5-yard face mask on Highlands.
3 penalties for 30 yards now for the Golden Rams. And South Fayette set up shop again, Mike. We still have 1:29 to go here in the first quarter.
Starting at the Highlands 34. Starting position, the Highlands 38, the Highlands 45, the South Fayette 42, and the Highlands 34. I don't care who you're playing. You can't get by with that.
No way.
Pistol now. Divin, the quarterback, and Franklin behind him. Trimber, the motion man. Sprint draw give, and that's Franklin cutting it back. Look at him go, move those legs inside the 20 and down to the Highlands 17-yard line. Ethan Jones and Gabe Booker got a ride.
Good news, Gabe's back out there, Mike, but boy, powerful run that time by Franklin.
17-yard pickup. It's 1st down, South Fayette at the Highlands 17. Again, they go to Franklin. Yep. Good job by Gillette to get a piece of them. And Timmons finishes him off as he gets to the 13.
Good to see Danny out there. Had to sit out last week. That didn't help, Mike.
2nd and 6. 40 seconds left. First quarter. 23-7. Trimber in motion. Play fake. Divin is back. It's hit from behind as he throws it, but he still completes it. Down to the 1-yard line. Boy, that was quite a job by Divin to get rid of it. He was harassed from behind. Nolan Lutz caught it. And it's 1st and goal.
Mike, he had pressure coming from the right side. It looked like Timmons was there, but stepped up in the pocket, completed the pass. Now it's 1st and goal. We got a timeout.
22 seconds left. Let's see. Maybe Highlands.
The officials are. Do they? What is their reason? I think they're sending Gabe off. Mike.
Yeah, maybe they are. That's exactly what they did. He goes over to the bench. And DJ Loveland's going to come out defensively. 1st and goal. South Fayette trying to put up a 30 spot in the first quarter.
And it has been quick.
Surgical.
and painful.
Divin gives it to Franklin. Head down, touchdown, South Fayette Lions.
Tripped himself into the end zone, Mike. But
they're so spoiled around here, they barely cheer when they score a touchdown. You notice that? It's like an opera crowd. The only person that's excited is Bubba.
And Bubba's letting the crowd know it. He's got a big job tonight. Senior night, he's got a lot of announcements to make, and he was nice enough to spend a little time with us, and we told him we enjoyed his restaurant. His dad was a meat cutter. That's how he got into the business, Mike.
So Franklin with a 1-yard run. That's the first run. They've had 3 passes by Divin, and Coe's back in to try the extra point. Charlie Rossi, the holder, at the post to our left. And that kick is good, and they have 30 in the first quarter. South Fayette 30, Highlands 7.
It's like a can, Mike. You can hear it up here. We're under glass.
Seriously. Well, speaking of great hamburgers, Dean, there's no place in the AK Valley you'd rather go than the Anchor Inn, where Joe, Andy, and Dee continue that family tradition started by their parents way back in 1953, talking about taking a family business, a great home-cooked meal without having to do the cooking. We talk about the original Anchor Burger, and it is tremendous.
You got your ham.
You got your ham. You got your hamburger. You got your cheese, and you got all the.
Don't forget the bacon.
And don't forget the bacon, and all of the fixings around it. A nice pickle, and any side you'd like. That's why they call it the Anchor Burger. So please try that one. Also, daily specials available. The Blue Plate Special is there. I know fish on a dish is always Friday. We see a lot of people having that. When we get there, the cheese delights are a huge favorite. You can get the small or the large, and they also make liver and onions for you, which your wife won't do. So. Remember, the kitchen's open till 11, so there's plenty of time to make it to the Anchor after the game, even if you're in South Fayette, even if you're in Newcastle.
We're getting there tonight, Mike.
Mike and I will be there, so don't be shy. Stop by and say hey. It's the Anchor Inn on Freeport Road, Natrona Heights. Welcome aboard.
Special thanks to them, too, Mike. They hosted the alumni last Friday night. What
a great event that all was.
76, 98, and 2008 teams. And everybody had their own table. It was interesting to see the byplay between all the guys. And they were truly happy to see each other. That's one thing about, we say Rams for life, RFL. It truly is. These guys have stayed friends for years. And I think we were really excited about seeing the 08 gang because we hadn't seen them for 10 years. And they look like, well, we were just together last week. So they stuck together.
1st and 10 Highlands on the 20. That's right, folks. There was another touchback. I was thinking about Tim Cars this week with another hurricane working its way up the coast, and he was telling me they did pretty well with the first one. I know he was back home. He was driving back on Saturday to golf.
It was so great of him to come back too, Mike, because they had
back twice.
Yeah, knocked that night, and I invited him, and sure enough, he came back. Thank you, Tim.
First down, Highlands on their 20-yard line. They trail it 30-7 now. Play action. Cohen.
That's that
trouble.
Knee, yeah.
And down he goes, back at the 5-yard line.
You could tell that left knee's bothering because he tried to brace on it, couldn't do it.
And what's probably going to be the last play is the last play of the first quarter here at South Fayette Stadium. The loss will be all the way back to the 10. And the first quarter ends your score, South Fayette 30, Highlands 7.
Well, Mike, top 5 have not changed. Again, in 5A, you got Thomas Jefferson, you got Thomas Jefferson number 1. South Fayette is number 2. We know Thomas Jefferson's always tough. Bell Vernon's in the 3rd spot, Blackhawk 4th, West Mifflin 5th. What's interesting, Mike, of the 6 classifications, none of the top 5 have changed in any of them in the last 2 weeks, except down in 3A where Derry went from up to second after being in 4th. They switched places with Elizabeth Forward after they beat Elizabeth Forward. But you talked about the chalk. That's all chalk there, that's for sure.
And that is. So we talked about what Jamie Divin's been doing, and he's a transfer from West Allegheny, which is interesting. Bob Palco, and I guess it's his final season.
They don't throw.
And they don't. And you can see, well, he's terrific. Their last 3 quarterbacks are on the WPIL list. The last 3 quarterbacks are 1st, 6th, and 8th all-time WPIL passing. Brett Brumbaugh, 11,086 yards is 1st. Wow. Drew Saxton, who we'd seen the last 2 years, 7,452 is 6th. And Christian Brumbaugh, 7,162 is 8th. That's their last 3 guys. Tyler Bradley of Olsh just made the list last week. He has 7,189 going into tonight, so congratulations for him. He is the 7th guy to throw for 7,000 yards. But think about that. That's, the last last 3 guys they've had here are in the top 8 all-time WPIL passers.
And that's a lot of talent, Mike, but it is also a lot of system. And again, Coach Rossi loves his spread offense. He's came out tonight 5 wide and just takes advantage of every part of the field that way.
2nd and 20. Highlands moves right to left in the second quarter. Cohen has some time and flips it out over here to White, who's going to catch it, but 22 run out of bounds by 22 as Nolan Lutz, the last touchdown maker, pushes Brock out of bounds.
Great to see Brock back out there, Mike. Didn't get anything on that play. So it's going to stay 3rd and 20.
Brock White's dad was a great running back at Burrell in the late 90s.
Was that Jay White?
No, that was Brock White.
Brock White. Who was Jay White?
Jay White, Valley.
Freeport, right?
Freeport Valley, yeah. Played for Sam Albert, I know that much. 3rd down, 10. Cohen's just going to run at 3rd and 20, I'm sorry. And he's not going to get he's being pinballed, he lost it. And Raekwon Glover picks it up for South Fayette on the 13-yard line.
Wow, Mike, 12-yard line, they're going to start this drive. This field position is insane. You just can't give these short porches like this.
And South Fayette will start at the Highlands 12. Again, all but one of their drives starts in Highlands territory.
And that one that did was, what, 42-yard line? 8 yards.
Right.
Yeah. So not much we can do about
Seth
this.
Cohen in minus territory tonight, running the football. And South Fayette 1 play away from putting up 37 points in less than 13 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Jamie Diven, the senior quarterback. Glover in motion. Give it. No. Yes, it is Franklin. He did the Brett Favre fake there, Diven did. And Franklin is carrying Rams with him. Inside the 5 and down to the 3-yard line. He gets 9.
Gillette down there on the tackle, along with Ethan Jones, but again, not until he gets.
They're going to give him, inside the 5. Going to be 2nd and a long 1 for South Fayette, leading it 30-7. We have 3 touchdown passes by Diven, and Franklin had a run on the last one, and now quickly.
Nothing doing there.
Franklin gets nothing. He might have lost a yard or 2 back to the 6.
Timmons and Gillette make the stop quickly. Speaking of quickly, Mike, they're right back up to the line of scrimmage. They're ready to go.
Yeah, they really like to go quick. Got to be alert.
Now they slow it down after we say that.
Play clock hasn't even started. I wonder why. Malfunctioning, maybe?
Slow at the switch. Where's Tom Stabile?
If he was here, that wouldn't happen. Diven's going to throw a fade and a back shoulder throw for a South Fayette touchdown to Peyton Tinney.
Peyton did a nice job of pushing off.
He really did, Dean. That was the best push-off we've seen since Plum in week 0.
We saw quite a few of those.
So Diven throws his 4th. He threw 5 last week at Knock. So he's got 9 touchdown passes the last 2 games.
In 5 quarters.
And 156 yards through the air in just a little over 13 minutes.
Now, Mike, people are going to think the mercy rule goes into effect now. How about explaining that?
The mercy rule goes into effect after halftime.
Regardless of first.
Regardless. So it can be more than 35, but if they bring it back to closer than that, then it doesn't go into effect. Halftime is when they look at it. See who kicked. Elena Van Beber kicks it. It's up and good. And at 10:36 left first half, it's South Fayette 37 and Highlands 7.
Gives me a chance to tell you about the Bouchers. Many companies can give you car insurance quotes, but only Nationwide backs up with dedicated licensed professionals and superior claim service. Mel and John at the Bouchers just want to make ensuring your new teen driver a stress-free experience. Make sure to ask about Nationwide's Young Driver Discount. When you compare, no one beats the Boucher's rates for young drivers. Call your hometown Nationwide agents, John and Mel, at 724-224-4300, and they'll have your choice of coverages that's right for your family. They have evening and Saturday hours for your convenience. Remember, in the 8K Valley, the Bouchers and Nationwide are on your side.
This kickoff will be brought to you by Mason Elite Hoops at the Pittsburgh Mills Mall. Basketball training for third graders all the way up through varsity and beyond. You can find them on the web at masonelitehoops.com. Mike is getting everything ready for basketball season as everybody's getting ready to get out there. It won't be long now, Dan.
Well, that first time you get that cold air hit your face, I think basketball.
I think pucks on ice. Basketball's bouncing too. Yes, we're looking forward to that.
Look at that one, Mike.
Here's Coe. Well, it doesn't seem to matter which end he kicks it to. And again, we talk about field position. What does that do for your defense? The other team's starting at the 20 every time. They don't have to cover a kickoff. They don't get anybody hurt on special teams.
All right.
I mean, that is a weapon and a half right there.
Mike, we talk about this expansive facility they have here. I was down in the locker room before the game, and I hear giggling, and it's Frankie Girardi, Petey Foster, and Ethan Callender. Guess what they're doing?
I'm not sure.
They're playing hide and seek in the locker room. That's how big it is.
How does it go? It's kind of like this press box. I tried to go to the bathroom. I made a left and got lost. Now we have a flag down as they give it to Taylor. He gets it up to the 23-yard line. I thought I might have seen a grab of a mask. No, it's holding against Highlands. I was looking through my Rams-colored glasses. And they threw that flag all the way back to the 18-yard line. And
wow. 4 penalties for 40 yards now.
So I think it's going to put it back. It might be half the distance and put it back at the 9. Let's see where they put it.
And it's quite impressive, Mike. Some of the locker rooms they look like caves, but I'll tell you what, this South Fayette, they do things right down here.
1st and 20 at the 10. It's the same position we were in a moment ago.
Yeah, it reminds me of, Mike, the professional lockers. Remember we used to cover the Steeler games?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
this press box is nicer than Three River Stadium.
Yes, much nicer than we used to get.
It is nicer than that was. Give it to Taylor. Follows his blockers. You got Max Weston out in front of him. He gets caught from behind, though, but a good gain up to the 17-yard line as Taylor is brought down nicely. Ray Quinn Glover was in there to do the job.
3 carries now for Cam for 14 yards, and Hyde is now facing a 2nd and 15. Those spot fouls throw your yardage.
Oh, they're killers. And we've seen him be much more sticklers on that this year, not doing it from the line of scrimmage. That was a directive that was sent out before the season. Holly and Loveland to the near side of the field. Play action. Cohen rolls that way. Throws it out here. Oh, and it's beautifully caught by Loveland. Takes a forearm to the back, gets out of bounds at the 30, and I think that's enough for a first down.
Perfectly placed ball that time by Cohen.
That's a 13-yard gain.
That'll give 73 yards on the night here. And more importantly, Highlands gets the first down.
How about this? South Fayette has 6 first downs and 5 touchdowns.
You talk about effective use. We might have the ball longer than them too, Mike. When you think
that one drive,
13 plays.
I wouldn't be too surprised, but they get the ball in such great field position, it doesn't take them long to score. Cohen back over the middle, and it's incomplete. He tried to get it to Booker, but he was covered tightly that time by Nolan Lutz, the junior inside linebacker. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And more bad news, South Fayette gets the ball to start the second half.
By then, Jamie Diven will be having a sandwich.
And Mike, on our way up here, we saw so much housing being developed too. It's like,
exactly.
The good news is this may be the last time we see them.
They may move up.
They have to move up.
They
75 on the
Well, didn't you say these are one of the ones that has made? They've almost made every. I mean, they were Class A here at one point.
Yes, they were.
They have grown exponentially over the years. This is Cohen. Tries to get outside to the right.
Penalty marker.
Flag is down. 35. A tough customer, that kid. He gets up to the 36-yard line.
Unfortunately, if he knew there was a
flag is down all the way back at the 29, and we'll see what our referee,
and we know
Charlie Watts, will bang out on the drums here. See what he's got for us. And we can hear Charlie too. Let's listen to him, shall we? Mic working?
We shall.
Isn't this place great?
Yep, our fifth penalty for 50 yards.
Not that I like the penalties or anything. Just put it on the 20. Goodness.
Like I noticed on our YouTube, we get a lot of first half watches and not too many second half.
Depends on the score, Dean.
I don't think it's going to be very good numbers this week.
People go for specific plays that they may have seen too. Cohen, now he's going to get out of there. Near side of the field, puts it under his arm, gets to the 25, the 30.
Ooh, hey, how about a horse
thrown down hard by Ryan Kokoski at the 29-yard line. I didn't see any hand inside that. You can grab him from the back of the shirt. Put it right on the 30. It's a 10-yard gain.
Seth did a good job of following Noah Gillette. It's the old story, you know.
That's a guy I'd follow.
Yep. When in doubt, find your fullback and run right up his back.
3rd down and 11. 8.5 to go first half. Cohen has a word for Cam Taylor. He's back. He looks. Steps up.
Has time.
He's going to throw it to the sideline, and that one
died on him.
Came out like a wet bar of soap, incomplete. Intended receiver over there was Loveland, but I think Raekwon Glover might have been the closest man to the football. I think it was one of those where Seth, when he was about to let it go,
slipped.
Didn't like, no, I don't think he liked what he saw and figured that he wasn't really sure he wanted to get rid of it. And sometimes that can happen.
The old double clutch.
It's 4th down. An old Thunderfoot, Johnny Christ is on. 2 punts tonight, 43 and 40.
Taking his time.
Do a rugby kick, and now he just kicks a line drive. It's going to hit and come to Rossi at the 36, breaks a tackle, breaks another, comes back into the field of play. They get him by the jersey and finally bring him down at the 45-yard line. Rams had all kind of trouble bringing Charlie Rossi down, only a sophomore.
Wondrick finally got the jersey, Mike, but boy, there were 3 misses before that.
34-yard punt and a 19-yard return. First down South Fayette at the Highlands 45-yard line. 7:53 left first half. Again in Highlands territory.
Got to see Jeff Campbell, Mike, at Planet Fitness. He was up there with... do you remember Scotty Pikavich?
Yes, I do.
They were working out together, and he said that Ed Flowers had some interesting things to say about him in last week's broadcast.
Oh, boy. 15-yard unsportsmanlike against the Rams. Now, even how badly everything's going, now the meltdown's begun, and it's going to be first down at the 30.
That does not help things.
Well, see, it's the first unsportsmanlike, and that's right by Charlie Watts to say that. I really think they should tell you the numbers so we have an idea what's going on, because we're completely in the dark. If somebody ends up leaving,
did they give us?
He did not give the number. They don't give the numbers on penalties, but I think in a case like that where there's a possible disqualification, I think they should give the number. First down at the 30.
Setting up shop in Highlands territory.
They're big boys. They should give the numbers anyway. Divin throws it near side. It's caught by Trimber, breaks a tackle, and finally Cohen brings him down at the 20. It's a 10-yard gain. I think it's 10. Let's see where they mark it. Is it enough for a first down? That's going to be 9. 2nd and 1.
I see Seth still out there on defense, Mike.
Trimber 118 on 4 catches.
Here comes the blitz.
And here's the give. This is Raekwon Glover out of the backfield. First down and more. 15, 10, corner, 5, touchdown. Raekwon Glover.
No signal, Mike. Now they signal. Now they give it a touchdown. You were on top of it before they were, Mike. It took them a while to discuss.
They were discussing it. I don't know why.
Wasn't much to discuss, was it?
Nah. The only question was, did he step out of bounds inside the 5? And I think that the official that was on the goal line looked back to the official that was running down, and they just made sure. Got eye contact. Got it right. That's a 2-play, 30-yard drive.
They've been very... Efficient,
surgical,
and
I I can never remember the Rams giving up 44 points and a half. And there's still half of this quarter left.
That's scary.
The kick by Co is good. He and Helena Van Bibernauer seem to be trading him off. Yeah, 7:18 to go. First half. South Fayette 44, Highlands 7. Well, Ron Gillette Incorporated is a registered contractor certified in PA state inspections and emissions. You can call Gillette's today for all your towing, paving, excavating, hauling, demolition, and yes, snow removal needs. It's not that far around the corner, is it? Ron Gillette Inc. is fully licensed, insured, bonded, certified, and owns all of its state-of-the-art equipment. And Gillette's are proud to enjoy an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Phones answer 24/7 and 365 days a year for emergency services. And as always, it's person to person. Call 724-226-1222. Find them on the web at rongiletteinc.com or on Facebook, Ron Gillette Inc. Towing and More. That's Ron Gillette Incorporated, the AK Valley's leader in towing and services since 1955.
We got to see him in action today, Mike. The phone rang and the flip phone came out,
and he was
right on top.
24/7. That's right. You're right on top of that. 7:18 to go first half. Now what, Dean? I mean, the Rams are getting their doors blown off here, and there's still half of this quarter to go, and you can't expect the other team to stop playing.
I would say, if anybody asks me, and I don't think anybody is, let's play the JV game in the second half, and let's let everybody sleep in tomorrow morning. I'd like to go down to.
I was going to say, some people want to go to Seton Hill tomorrow, don't they? Because the Mercyhurst Lakers are invading Greensburg tomorrow. Here's the kickoff.
They beat the crap out of Edinburgh last week, Mike. It was like 34-14. They really laid leather to them. And Morello's, what I thought was interesting, I talked to him today. I said, "What time you leaving?" He said 6. I said 6 in the morning. He goes, "No, 6 at night." They're actually staying in a hotel tonight in Greensburg area before the game tomorrow.
That's all those alumni donations they get from those rich people that went to Mercyhurst.
There are a few of those. We were told that on the way down too, weren't we?
Our cameraman shaking his head. No, you don't give any money, John? No, he says. Okay.
But there are quite a few of them up there giving, that's for sure.
First down, Highlands on their 20. Trailing it by a boatload. And they give us to Brock White. Tries to get outside to the right, picks his way through, up over the 20 to the 25-yard line. Be really interested to see what he can give them from the running back position. He's only a freshman, and that might be the future in the backfield with Taylor and Gillette both about to graduate.
Along with Gabe Booker, too, Mike, so you're right.
Yeah, Booker's been so hurt by injuries this year, and I really like him. I like him more as a running back than I do as a wide receiver. I've said
There's
that
no
for
doubt
years.
about it, Mike, but like I said, with the injuries, it's hard to...
It's hard to get on the field. White again. They got him from behind this time, and nothing. He gets it back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all. Big 52 in there. Quentin Frankline, a junior. 3rd and 5 now for the Rams.
We mentioned Highlands coming in averaging 31 again. It would be hard pressed to get that. South Fayette Mike comes in averaging 37. And they've already put 44 up here.
Well, the problem with the Rams this year has been their defense is allowing 32 a game, and that's how you're 2-5 when you scored 31.
But shouldn't you be 3-4 or 4-3?
I think so. I think so. At least 3 and 4. Give it to White again on 3rd and 5. Tries to find some running room and can't. And the Lions are there waiting for him. This time it's big 75 Sean Sitkavich, a senior, going in there to make the play. They have seniors that don't even start that are pretty good football players, and that's in games of this nature. These are the things they can do to get them some playing time. 4th down and 5. And the Rams' greatest weapon of tonight is in there, and that's Johnny Christ's right foot.
He's got some boomers. Last time he decided to hang on to it for a while. Let's see what he does this time with it.
Noah Gillette will snap it back to him. 44-7.
The Rams look like they're in a hurry to do it.
Snap. And Price has it blocked. He waited too long, and it's blocked. It's loose. They battle for it, and South Fayette's going to have the ball at the 1 yard line. Eamon Horowitz came in there to block it. Johnny waited too long, and Horowitz was right in there, laid out, and blocked it. My goodness.
Sometimes you get a little too cute, Mike.
And we talk about field position. This is as good as it can get. It's 1st and goal at the 1.
Fool me once, what is it? Shame on.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
And that's what happened that time. Johnny has waited just a little too long.
How about giving up half 100.5? 1st and goal at the 1. I find it hard to believe they won't score.
Will we scrambling to... No, we won't. Our record books, by the way, for anybody to ask, we always say, we can tell you about this century, right, Mike?
Yeah, we have that pretty much down because that's what we've seen and what we've kept track of.
When we came on board in 2000.
Drew Franklin, touchdown. With no resistance. Opened up like the Red Sea.
I've got very good news for me. I don't have to keep any of the South Fayette stats. I take care of Highlands. So Mike is busy writing over there. And on to attempt the extra point is the young lady, the Miss
Elena Van Bibber in there.
She sounds like she should be in some type of...
She should be in pictures. They're trading off now, her and Co.
Yep.
It's 50-7. Charlie Rossi, the holder, and Van Bibber's kick is on its way. She needs to get her kicking in, too, because she's also a senior. And she's perfect on tonight.
Last week we had our own kicker, J.C. Bowser, become homecoming queen. I wonder if Miss Van Bibber was in the competition this year.
I don't know. They're having senior night here tonight. This is their last home game. They're like us. They have 4 home games, 6 away.
Somebody had to do it. We got elected, huh?
They seem to be handling it a lot better.
Northwest 8 tonight. We mentioned Ambridge is at Montour. We need a Montour win. Well, Montour should win.
Yeah, Montour should win that game.
The big one is Knox at Newcastle, Mike, and you're getting reports from Scott Briggs.
We will have that come up here in a second.
The Twitter scope.
Let's see what we had. It was 10-7 knock after the first quarter. It seemed to be a slugfest up there in Newcastle tonight, so we'll... that's the last report we have is 10-7 knock first half at Newcastle. Again, a knock win gets them to 3-4 and really hurts Highlands' chances because Highlands lost to knock.
We have 2 entry non-conference games tonight, Mike. Beavers at Quaker Valley.
By the way, here we are losing 51-7, and I'm talking about playoffs.
Still a possibility. And Indiana's at Blackhawk. So those are nice entering cross.
Yeah. Very interesting games. Yeah. Beaver, Quaker Valley especially.
Oh, that's interesting.
Now they bobble it.
You got to pick it up.
Now it's a touchback. The minute it hits,
right, as soon as it gets
they stop it. That answered your question from earlier.
Yep.
First down, Highlands on their 20. 4:50 go. They need a nice long drive just to get this half over with.
Noah caught it, Noah Gillette, and looked like he wanted to hand it to Brock White. Brock White didn't get the message, so it's going to come out to the 20-yard line.
Well, they've tied themselves up. They have 7 first downs and 7 touchdowns.
Yikes. I guess the word dismantling comes to mind here.
It's surgical. First down, Highlands on their 20-yard line, allowing 51 in the first half. It got to be entering school record territory. I'm pretty sure it's in the 60s. Cohen turns, and they're going to run a sweep this time to White. Cuts it up in there and gets it up to the 21-yard line. He gets a yard. 2nd down and 9 for the Rams.
Remember, Mike, opening night he was in a starting lineup at
playing linebacker. Yes. Be some valuable experience if he can stay healthy here these last 3 games. Rams will be looking to fill the quarterback spot going into next year. Maybe West Allegheny has one. That's a joke, people. I know we have our own people. 2nd down and 9. Cohen is back. He's going to throw it deep. He's got Booker out there, and it's incomplete. The pass carried out of it. Well, it's a good thing there wasn't, because really, that was another one of those cases where Booker turned the defender around to try to get to the ball. Probably best that there was nothing.
Tied up with each other over there.
3rd and 9 now. Highlands on their 21-yard line.
And Mike, you talk about the future. Hats off to our middle school. They had a great season this year. They only have one loss. They have one game remaining at Knock on Wednesday, but did a good job the other night against a tough Quaker Valley team. They prevailed 22-20.
Good one. Cohen. Time. Down the middle. Oh, what a catch by Gillette. He went up and pulled it in at the 40-yard line over the coverage of Hayden Shader, and that's a Highlands first down.
He went up in traffic, Mike. He wasn't afraid to do it that time. And it gives Seth 93 yards through the air. More importantly, a first down for the Golden Rams.
20-yard gain on that. Boy, is Noah Gillette.
He's done everything like this year.
Been really, really good as a receiver. So that gives him, that's a 20-yard catch. His first catch of the night. He has one catch for 50. You go figure it out.
Seth has 21 touchdown passes, Mike, to 7 different receivers.
Brock White threw a hole up over the 45 and up to the 46-yard line. Down there for the Lions is number 37, Eli Snyder.
But in the middle school, Mike, we have 2 nice quarterbacks coming up. A kid named McQuaid and Jimmy Quince, Nick McQuaid. They're going to be helping us out next year. And what I really like too, Mike, they have 4 quality running backs down there.
I saw Professor Dave McQuaid last week, Dean. He waved up while you weren't.
Oh, okay.
He made to say hi to you. So a week later, Dave McQuaid says hi.
The professor.
The professor. Now they're going to call the Rams here. I think we had a guard pull. That was Joaquim Roman. I'm sorry, the tackle, Joaquim Roman, the sophomore. I think he left early.
Dave McQuaid.
Oh, it's on the defense. Hooray.
Dave McQuaid threw Nate Signorello off the basketball team.
My goodness.
He said, if you want to play football, go play football. Nate said, see you later. But speaking of Signorello, Mike, we have another Signorello coming up. One of the running backs, Landon Signorello. Kid named Russ Hank. You're going to love this guy, Mike. He is one of those tough fullbacks. Ashton Hadachek and Damani Harjo.
First down, Highlands, as the penalty resulted in it. South Fayette territory. Cohen's going to fire it deep, and it is going to be caught by Christ. 10, 5, touchdown Highlands. Johnny Christ came back to get it, pulled it in, and a spectacular 49-yard touchdown pass.
He just wanted it, Mike. When Johnny wants something, Johnny gets it. He went up that time, 49 yards to score. Second touchdown of the night for Seth Cohen. And the Golden Rams are on the board again.
So it's 51-13 at 2:49.
These spread offenses, Mike, look at the numbers are put up. 65 at the half here. Yikes.
J.C. Bowser on for the extra point out of the hold of Cohen. He has to pick. Boy, it took him forever to get himself up off that knee. Kick is good, and the Highlands Rams have scored their second touchdown of the game, and it's a 51-14 lead.
I've got Seth now for 142 through the air.
That's exactly what I have. We'll go with that. Let's hear the band. Unfortunately, we would hear the band, but Bub is too busy talking, so forget it.
Made the trip down. Highlands Golden Rams. You can see them there in the end zone, Mike. They're going to perform their vaulted halftime routine. They do a great job representing the Golden Rams.
They're kind of far away. They might. Okay, they did get that. Okay.
You know, Mike, I always talk about why high school football is so important. It's, on a Friday night, we can account for about 200 of our kids every Friday night.
Yeah, really.
The cheerleaders, the football team, the band, color guard.
All the fans that come out, too. Yep, don't forget them. South Fayette didn't know which way we were kicking. They were lining up offside. They're going to move to the other side now and try to get this done here. 2:49 to go, first half.
And we talk about our trips to the Anchor Inn on Friday night. Great to see a lot of the football players, families up there, but a lot of band parents come up too, Mike.
Right.
Hindleys have done a great job. They have twin daughters that are going to graduate this year. And again, they had a day last Saturday. They play soccer. In the morning they had SATs. They went to Clarion to perform in the band festival. And then they came back for a 2 o'clock soccer game. And then had homecoming. How you like that? said, let him sleep in it on Sunday.
Bowser kicks it out of bounds. So I guess the best news is this will be South Fayette's worst starting field position. They'll start at their own 35-yard line.
True that. And why they went up to Clarion, Mike, their band director, Matt Barasic, that's his hometown.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense, huh?
They have a beautiful fall festival up there at Clarion.
ALF, Autumn Leaf Festival.
Been there, done it. Good luck getting parking.
Yeah, really.
We had a nice little fall festival on Saturday, too. Unfortunately, it was really weird conditions. I was doing the soccer game.
It was so warm and humid. It was like the middle of summer.
But then the game would start at 2 o'clock, Mike, 1:59, lightning bolt.
It's like the pit game got delayed, too. Same deal.
Yeah.
I talk about the pit game because they win so infrequently that when they do, I like to.
That was a fun one.
It was a good game. And Tibbin is back. Tibbin, he's got a man wide open. And that's Ryan McGuire, 20-15, and they ride him down at the 12-yard line. Finally knocked off his feet by Deshaun Holly, but another long one for Jamie Tibbin.
Mike, when they get inside position, they make you pay the price. Holly did that time. And now, South Fayette poised to strike again. And remember, we still have 2:38, and if you're wondering why the clock isn't running, Mercy Rule does not go into effect until the second half.
50 yards on that.
So, Mike, a lightning bolt 2 puts us down for a half hour, right? Ready to start 2:30, another lightning bolt. Check the board, said homecoming night, game over.
First down at the 10. And the give is to, we're going to call it first down at the 11-yard line.
No, just like got an ankle, and Jeremiah Nelson finished them off.
Franklin, the ball carrier, maybe gets one down to the 10. I shorted Mr. Diven out of 5 yards.
That becomes your pro.
It's a 55-yard gain. Second down and long 9.
He's still
Diven back. Flag is down. That's a penalty for throwing when you're up 51-14, maybe.
I'm wondering when that stops.
Hey, that's the defense's job to stop that.
Yeah, I have no problem. Yeah, but
and that's, they haven't even played a half. They probably haven't even gotten through their scripted plays yet.
Yeah, well, Mike,
you think about it that way. They've only run, goodness, 11. They've only run 19 offensive plays. Highlands is going to take a timeout now at 1:54. They've run, well, I'm going to count Diven's numbers here. He's thrown it 9 times. 10 times. He's completed 9. And so they have 9 receptions and 9 runs. So that's 18 plays plus, I believe, 1 incompletion. Any incompletions? 1 incompletion. He's 9 for 10. So they've run 19 plays, scored 7 touchdowns. So if they script 20, which most teams do, they're still on their script. They haven't even finished it yet.
Mike, we give up 207 yards a game. Excuse me, passing-wise, we pass for 207 yards a game. We give up 124. How many does this kid have already?
I have him at 220, 9 for 10, 220.
He's almost double what Highlands gives up per game.
Well, that's because most teams run against us.
Very impressive.
And that's the other problem. They haven't had to do that tonight. Empty. 5 wides. Man in jet motion, and Diven, here they come after him, and down he goes. And when you're winning by that many and you decide to pass, you run the risk of injuring your quarterback. And that's the thing that the coach has to decide.
Yep. Sacked by Ethan Jones. That's the 3rd week in a row he gets a sack. He'll split that with Noah Gillette.
Big one all the way back to the 24.
You're right, Mike. Rushing-wise, we average 176 yards, but we give up 218. That's too many.
First sack of the night. 3rd down. They can get a first down at the 1-yard line. 1:20 to go. Well, Diven had trouble with the snap. He's in trouble, and Riddell gets him. Not a great job of protection by Glover. Riddell did this old spin move, got around him, and they bring Diven down back at the 29-yard line.
Riddell share that sack with Jeremiah Nelson. Giddy up.
4th down and 27.
Moss gets him for a big one there.
So 2 sacks come at a big time, and now Coe's going to come in.
Check this out.
And try a 45-yard field goal out of the hold of Charlie Rossi at the post to our right.
Now, most guys will think he's crazy. This kid's capable.
45-yarder.
He gets a good snap.
Good snap, ball down, kick on its way.
Look at that.
Long enough, high enough, and it is good. It would have been good from 60. Coe kicks a 45-yard field goal, and South Fayette extends its lead to 40. It's 54-14.
Try 65.
Yeah.
Wow. That looks like it's shot out of a cannon, huh? That's unbelievable. You know, Mike, the funny thing is, you mentioned earlier, South Fayette is not one of the 9 undefeated teams. They lost to Upper St. Clair their first game. North Allegheny's undefeated in 6A. 5A, it's Gateway and Penn Hills. 4A, the only undefeated team is Thomas Jefferson. That's why they're number 1. 3A, we have Aliquippa. 2A, there's actually 3, one from each conference. Shady Side, McGuffey, and Burgettstown.
Thanks to the Tomlins.
Yes.
Sky Moore.
Yep. And 1A is Clareton. You know, no surprises by those names. They're the old established teams. But down in 2A, Burgettstown, you don't hear that name too often, do you?
Demetrius with a 95-yard pick 6. Knock was going in, throw a 95-yard interception return. Newcastle leads at half over Knock, 14-13. And if you're entertaining any hopes of Highlands going to the playoffs, that's important. We'll explain that to you in the second half. That means you have to stay tuned. That's called a tease. A teaser. Coe kicks it out. Highlands will get it with 27 seconds to go. They trail it 54-14.
And Mike, once we get in the Mercer room in the second half, that cannot change.
Right, it never goes away.
So we'll be the anchor in early today, 8:22 in real time. ETS at about 9:22.
If we left now.
No, ETA for estimated time.
Oh, time of game over here. Gotcha. Can we leave now?
No.
First down at the 20. Gillette's a sidecar. 27 seconds to go. Cohen is back. Why not? He's in trouble. They got him by the face mask, and come on. There it is. I'm glad somebody saw it.
Better late than ever.
And that was Bryce Spolnick, who got his hand into Seth Cohen's face mask. So this will be a penalty against the Lions.
Clear to play. First overall. Big pass. On defense. 15 yards. First down.
It's a 9th Highlands first down. They have more first downs than South Fayette. That shows you what stats mean.
Yeah. Sam Albert always said statistics are for losers. And I always say figures lie, liars figure.
And you're a math teacher.
That's correct.
First down Highlands at their 30. 13 seconds.
And the boss says what's 2 and 2. The answer is what do you want?
Whatever you want it to be.
Uh-oh, he got held there by Timmons.
Cohen in trouble.
Get rid of it.
Clock winding down. This will be the last play of the half, barring a penalty. Cohen fires it deep. It's out of bounds, and that's the end of the first half. That's all for one here at South Fayette with the score. South Fayette 54, Highlands 14. We'll take a timeout, be back with stats and much, much more right after.